Hi everyone, welcome back to the Investors Podcast by Africa Prudential Plc, and I remain your host, Gift Isunolo. So today we'll be talking about pioneering innovation investment participation, and with me here is Joshua Omewah, the Head Strategy and Research Department at Africa Prudential Plc, and he'll be taking us on this topic. Hi Joshua, welcome to the podcast. Okay, so Joshua, Africa Prudential has often been described as the pioneer of registrar innovation in Nigeria. So what does registrar innovation truly mean in today's capital market landscape?
So the registrar function has always been behind the scenes,
Okay.
right? I want you to imagine a large room filled with file cabinets,
Okay.
and in each of those files are names of thousands of shareholders.
Okay.
And the registrar would have to go through each of those names to find out who owns what.
Very time consuming.
All right, need to find out who owns what, and that's very stressful.
Exactly.
Okay, and imagine there's a corporate action like a company declares dividend. You have to still go through those tedious exercise of finding who owns the share, who owns that share. Then before you now pay dividends, and even on the shareholder side, imagine have to write a letter before you can make an inquiry or have a question or a complaint. You have to write a letter or come physical. People still come physically, but imagine the human traffic at that point in time. But surprisingly, everything was fine. But the market began to change. How? People began to buy more investment. People began to move.
Okay.
People began to change their addresses. All right. There was the issue of huge unclaimed dividends. So, in a nutshell, the old way of doing things did not suffice. Registrars had to innovate, and Africa Prudential was one of those registrars that picked that signal early. That okay, we can't do this. It's not sustainable. We have to find a way to make the market more seamless, more easy, and where both shareholders and clients can interact more. Okay, so really, the registrar innovation is not about doing the same thing in a better way. It's more of reimagining the registrar function to a more technology, investor service driven function that creates the market and makes it more seamless and better. Thank you.
Kudos to Africa Prudential, really.
Mhm.
So yeah, the next question I have here is: so beyond registrar functions, Africa Prudential is increasingly positioned as the digital investment management enabler. So what led to the shift?
The shift was gradual. It wasn't instant. We were performing our primary registry functions, which required maintaining the shareholders' records, and as well as carrying out or managing corporate actions like paying dividend and all. But we began to notice something. There was a shift in shareholders' behavior,
Okay.
and that's because your typical shareholder has a bank account, so that means he's a bank customer.
Yeah.
And in that sector, the technological advancement in that sector is astronomical compared to the capital market. So if you are enjoying that sort of service, your mobile application, USSD, another engagement platform, the customer is asking, or the shareholder is asking, why can't I have that in the capital market?
Yeah.
So that got us thinking, and we had to go back to the drawing board to see how we can move along with this new shift. Okay. And that has pioneered some of the technological moves and the innovation that are being recorded in the market. All right. So all the way from leveraging the data to building up our technological capability to make sure that we deliver seamless and efficient services.
Wow. So in essence, change is just a gradual process, getting us to a point
Thank
where
you.
we all need, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so digital transformation, is reshaping the financial sector globally. So
Yeah.
what measures has Africa Prudential taken to modernize investor record keeping and shareholder engagement?
All right, thank you. So that's leaning back to the previous question you asked. All right, so Africa Prudential, we've made a lot of digital transformation from back end, which is reflective in some of the product and services we offer in the market.
Yeah.
And one of them is our enterprise solution, which is Greenpool. So what Greenpo pretty much is, remember I stated how in time past registrars will go in the shareholders records
Okay.
or in the records and look at each shareholder's name and find out who owns what
Mm-hmm.
before paying dividends. All right, that was the old way of that. Imagine the paperwork, imagine the manual process, imagine how tedious that was. But now we have an enterprise solution called Greenpo, all right, which helps us manage that process and makes it as seamless as possible. All right, so on the shareholders front, we have a mobile application called SabiVest. All right, that's pretty much your portfolio in your pocket. All right, where you can access your portfolio and get updates anytime, anywhere, wherever you are, anywhere in the world. We also have an EAGM software where you can join virtually and participate in any AGM function. You can vote and do all that corporate actions in that software. But the thing is this, Africa Prudential has always led digitization of those manual processes,
Yeah.
shifting the mindset from the old way of doing things to kind of incorporate what the customer needs. And that has driven the innovation that we see in the market. Yes, we are proud to say that we are leading in innovation across every product and service offering in the registrar space. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that answer. So, how is Africa Prudential leveraging technology to support global Africans who want to hop onto the local capital markets?
All right, thank you. I'll come in the light of the new CBN regulation.
Okay.
The CBN released two new, should I say, initiative? Yeah, I'll call it initiatives. The first is the NRBVN, that's non-residential bank verification number. Just say
Okay.
it as your bank verification number for non-residents. All right. So that's they've created a BVN for people for Nigerians outside the country, diaspora. All right. And the second initiative was they created an a non-residential investment account, all right, where outside Nigerians outside the country can easily just invest or put money or funds in that particular account, and from that account make various investments, all
Yeah.
right, which makes it so seamless and simple to participate in the capital market. So at Africa Prudential, of course, we continue to provide our listing services that accommodates them to participate in any IPO, or maybe they need to buy any existing shares in the capital market. Also leveraging, like I mentioned, our backend enterprise solution like Greenpool, which helps us manage the shareholders' records, right? Leveraging their BVN, that's the NL BVN,
Mhm.
and the foreign investment account. That makes it seamless for us. Also, like I mentioned earlier, the SabiVest mobile application
Yeah.
gives Nigerians in diaspora the ability to monitor their and track their
Investments.
investments
Okay.
in that. Also, we also provide other services for diasporans outside the country, of course, leveraging technology. And one of those services is probate. And maybe a loved one who has passed has estates, has shares that they need to transfer of ownership. We help with that, all right? You can be in whatever country that you are, and we can leverage our technology to make sure that transfer is seamless. We also offer that service of trying to reduce the unclaimed dividend. All right. The volume of unclaimed dividends is huge. And at Africa Prudential, we're also trying to reduce the unclaimed dividend in the capital markets. And for that, we can help diasporans, Nigerian diasporas, to claim their dividend across
Yeah.
different portfolio that they may offer, leveraging our technological solution. And we also offer KYC verification, leveraging the new NRBVN to get the relevant information of the shareholder and that allows us carry out that function effectively. So, in summary, we are very much positioned for diaspora, Nigerian diasporas, and also diasporas in Africa in general to participate in the capital markets. Our technological solutions are top notch that will allow you participate seamlessly and effectively.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. It seems like Africa Prudential has it all thought out.
You
So,
know.
yeah, my final question for you today is, so what partnership has been highly instrumental in advancing the digital capital market participation?
All right. Thank you for that question,
Yeah.
Gift. So the partnership conversation is kind of broad, in the sense that capital markets is a nested system.
Okay.
You have different operators that are dependent on each other, right? So the partnership between the Security and Exchange Commission and the Central Bank of Nigeria that allows for the e-dividend mandate system, where
Okay.
shareholders can link their bank accounts to their investment records. In the event of paying dividends, it's automated that dividends will instantly come into their account, right?
Okay.
That partnership allowed for that. So, in summary, these partnerships have created an ecosystem for which the shareholder and the client, or companies, listed companies, can seamlessly interact with the capital market. Um, yes, we are not there yet, but at least we are not where we used to be as a market. And in the next 5 to 10 years, the shift to full digitization is going to be astronomical.
Okay, so we've come to the end of today's podcast. I'm sure you've been able to learn one or two things today, especially what is happening in the capital market landscape and how Africa Prudential has been able to position herself to meet with these changes. So don't forget to like, don't forget to follow, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any new thing we have on this podcast today.